That's good. Okay, so just Richard here from STM Fit, and I am joined by Martin, and he's done fantastically well to date. So all we're going to be doing is just chatting through really where he started from, where he's got to, what his next goal is, and then also giving a little bit of member, I guess, perspective. Chances are, because we both like to chat, we're probably going to go off on massive tangents. That's okay. We'll bring things back as needed. If anyone throws in a comment, if I'm doing incredibly well with the tech side of things, Josephine will send me through a quick message and then I can ask a question. Martin, any questions you don't like, you can say pass. So that's perfectly fine.
I'm an open book.
So just as far as the absolute start point goes, if you can remember where you were initially, so we're talking initial body weight, fitness, confidence, paint a picture, as many details as possible.
I suppose a picture, which to be honest is a little bit embarrassing. I had a few health issues. I got sat down by my Crohn's specialist, who told me that if I didn't sort things out, give it 5 or 6 years, I would probably be in the ground. I was looking at diabetes, fatty liver disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you name it, that's pretty much where I was going. I was pretty much 160 kgs. Way too big for someone of my size, but unfortunately that's where I was. I'd gone from being a very fit and healthy person back when I was building to moving into an office job and not changing my eating habits. And probably the further away it got from being on the tools, I just got lazier and lazier at the end of the day. So it wasn't a great picture, to be honest, Richard.
So for those that don't know it, can you, I guess, just in short layman's terms, just talk through Crohn's a little bit, how it affects you and kind of what it means for your day-to-day week?
So Crohn's, I don't really talk about it too much. I don't want to be known as the sick person in the room. So I got diagnosed with Crohn's when I was 20 or 21, quite some time ago now. I'm 36. To begin with, it was fine, it wasn't too bad. I could ignore it, and unfortunately that's what I did. That's probably 8 years ago now. I got cropped to the point where I had to have surgery and have a section of my bowels removed. So Crohn's, because of that, reason is you get inflammations through your intestinal tract, so to speak. And that's, with most people with Crohn's, that's sort of where it ends, and they can operate on it and remove areas, and you can sort of live a fairly good life for 2 or 3 years, and then it generally comes back where they've rejoined that part. Unfortunately for myself, I don't do things by halves. I have, because a lot of the Crohn's medications I've been on before, I've got rheumatoid arthritis. Not officially diagnosed, but doctors say that. It's not in my medical books, but it's always noted and always brought up. A lot of the Crohn's medications are for arthritis drugs, or for arthritis, so they go hand in hand. You can do struggle from day to day, to be honest, but I noticed losing the amount of weight I've lost. Now I've retrained my mind that it's not so much the arthritis, weight had a big part to play in that.
Because what happened there, I guess, at the initial point, because around 160 with Crohn's, diabetic risks, fatty liver, like there's a lot of big health scares, and we've definitely seen on like this end, it normally goes one of two ways. Like people do a massive mindset shift and just go forth and tackle all those things and get their health back, or it goes the other way where it's pretty dark and pretty scary. can you remember, I guess, where that initial spark was for yourself, or how you were all of a sudden able to go, hey, look, I need to do something?
It was when they sat me down at the hospital and had a very sobering conversation about it, which was really hard to hear. I, at that stage, obviously Googled a couple of gyms online, and lovely Facebook started bringing up these STM videos. I had no idea who STM was, and I'd say at the time, in a moment of weakness, thought, yeah, I could do that, and went through the steps, and then never thought anything of it. And yeah, honestly, probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks, Richard just, he did his job well. He chased me, and I'm honestly, I'm forever grateful that he did, because if it was probably completely left up to myself, would I have got onto it? Would I have stuck at it? History tells me no. So.
Yeah, and look, Mark, you've done so incredibly well. I think it's one with us as trainers and coaches, because we've helped people do it before. Like, I can see you 30 kilos lighter, I can see you 50, 60 kilos lighter, whatever you want to get down to. But for anyone where it's a bit new to themselves, it's a different, I guess, mindset or potentially vision going into it. And yeah, the reason why we run the ads is, in particular, people generally click on the ads when they've got that motivation peak, or at that point in time that their health's important to them. Our responsibility as coaches or trainers from that point is, like, we want to get in touch with as many people as possible, and as soon as possible. Some people's motivation window is really short, so there's a funny thing, like, we'll get notifications, and sometimes I'll be able to contact someone in 15 minutes, which is fantastic because they've just submitted it. But it's one, like, particularly for yourself around 160 with all those health scares, I don't want you going to 165, 170, getting more health concerns and being in a place where it's harder to start. It's always a case of the sooner we can start, the better. Pretty much everyone says this, particularly with weight loss. And yeah, all you really have to do is just put yourself in a place where you've got a decent chance of being successful with it. So well done for clicking the ad, because we always need that on this end, and it's completely why the ads run.
I remember saying to my wife at the time, and we sort of, you can't put a dollar figure on health and life at the end of the day. I obviously had a conversation, 3 young kids and a mortgage and whatnot, and like there's it's not cheap, but it's money well spent. And we're like, well, I'll do the boot camp, and then I'll probably do another one, and I reckon it'll give me the kickstart to just keep going. I mean, hey, we're a year and a half on now. I don't really pay that much attention to the boot camps anymore. I just come here because I enjoy it. It's one, like, I think irrespective of whatever anyone's starting weight is, if you find the location where you can get results and it's a good fit with the trainers, coaches, and other people where you're doing it, it's always just a case of giving your life and also your family a chance for maybe 6 months, maybe a year. And like, when you look at it that way, like, I'm picking for yourself now, like, every day is better, every week's better, work's better, family life's better. Health's one of those things that just transfers across. Yes.
Yeah, so much, but it's we never want to, I guess, sugarcoat the start of it, because if you can remember back when you were 160 at the absolute beginning, what's something, or what will someone around that weight kind of normally feel for that initial bit? So this is without sugarcoating it. This is how you feel with
when I
everything,
first started coming in, you mean?
What you think about it. Yeah, when you first started coming in.
that is a hard question. I don't know how to answer that actually.
Because it's
It was hard. The motivation wasn't hard to start training because yourself and Kelly and Mo and now Claire are just so good to deal with. I don't know the right word there, but you guys are so encouraging, and like you could see me struggling and gassed, completely red in the face, and I'd sit down and be feeling distinct about myself that I couldn't do anymore, but you just come over and give me the thumbs up, make sure I'm okay, and then potentially give me an easy way to do it. So yeah, for myself, it was, I think, just such a welcoming place to come into that it just made it easier to. The training's hard, 100%.
Yeah.
Literally going from eating chips, drinking Coke, watching TV.
Yeah.
There's no way to say that. To coming in, the trainers are just awesome, and Sam,
Yeah.
No, she's your wife.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like she'd encourage me, and she's got really nothing to gain from that. She's not getting paid to be here. And other staff members, other gym members would jump in and give you encouragement as well, and it meant a lot, and it gave me a little bit of an extra oomph to go. And I see guys coming in now, guys and girls coming in where I used to be, and I'm like, look, man, it was done for you. You can do the same thing, and it's the culture of the place.
I think that's one of the beauties with it. Like, the biggest thing for hiring for us is always personality. Like, if personality is there, then they'll always have a shot as trainers and coaches. If it's not there, even if they had like a 10-page CV, wouldn't care. Because you're right. I think with everything health and fitness wise, it should be super welcoming and very inclusive. And it's if we do that from the staffing end, we find it flows into the membership side of things, because it's just normal practice, like saying hey, and then it means, because you've had a nice introduction all the way from your initial coaching call, the onboarding, to your first few sessions, now being 27.5 kilos lighter, like you kind of know what we do on our end and what it's like for that new person, and you've had that new person experience, which is brilliant.
And it's as daunting as it is and as hard as it is. It's because of the good job that you guys do here. It's definitely not as daunting as what it could be. It's not like going into an everyday gym where you've got a very slim and attractive receptionist that you feel is looking down upon you because of your shape and size, and you don't feel like you're an inconvenience coming in, and you get dumped with a trainer that has to give you a run through with the gym because it's part of your membership, and you can tell that they don't want to be there doing it. That's something that they have to do. There's a difference here where that just doesn't happen. I think that's because that's really messed up, because it means for you coming on board as a new member, like that's a really, really, really bad first experience, and like that first bit needs to be really good. And I think I was chatting with someone recently about it, and they're like, oh, kind of all gyms are the same. And I was like, oh, hold on a second here. They're all kind of a little bit different. Like in here, we barely have any mirrors, because we're not really wanting to attract bodybuilders, amateur bodybuilders, anyone who's massively kind of egocentric. And look, no, I'm not saying that's a bad thing as such, but they'll have a gym where it's going to be a better fit for themselves. Whereas for us, it's a lot more, kind of a fitness family, and a lot more health orientated. Because I think the biggest takeaway,
I don't know where it gets lost is all you need to do is be getting towards your health and fitness goals. As long as you're improving each week, each month, or you're given help when things plateauing that little bit, and you're welcome to enjoy the training.
Yep.
Like that's pretty close to being perfect. And it's where gyms will also have that bit of variety is like if you're doing a $7 per week membership, they'll never chat through it, but like that person doing that show through, it's like it might not be something they love.
They're going through the motions. There's a difference between someone that works because they have to have a job and someone that actually has a passion for what they're doing. And that's you guys here have a passion for what you're doing, and it shows the moment you walk in the door. You can tell that that's the case.
Oh, we love it. Like being able to have chats much like this one is absolutely fantastic. We'll get your photo at some point. It'll go up on the wall, which it'll look fantastic. Yeah, once I say 50 happens, we'll get it there. But I mean, that's what everything should be geared towards. Because for you starting out at 160 with a whole heap of health concerns, for that weight to be off, for you to have the fitness and strength which you've got now, and for us to be chatting, hey look, let's get about another 25 kilos off.
But you got to remember though, and I got to say it, I've lost more weight. I just
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the ways that we noticed this, and this was pretty, I guess somewhat funny, is we had an early photo with Martin where it was one of the group photos, and then we had one later on where he had like a 15 kilo weighted vest on, and even with like the vest on, he looked slimmer than where things were at initially.
I look pretty cool though.
Yeah, you look really cool. It's that whole SWAT look. I love it. Okay, so that gives a bit of a feel around a few things. So yeah, I guess one of the key takeaways, just as a recap, is I think when you're overweight, as long as you go to a place where you're welcomed and supported, particularly through the first bit, that's hugely important. The normal saying is the first probably 2 to 4 weeks is probably going to be the hardest bit. Couple of reasons we normally find, and if I misstep, let me know, is you are at your weakest, and fitness-wise, that's once again the weak point. And then there's a lot of new stuff. Like you're getting used to a new place, and you're getting used to new people.
Yep. And I suppose like a normal gym is learning the machines.
Yeah.
Where like you're saying here, you're shown the way that you'd like us to do it.
Yeah.
Or a harder way. For some people, or an easier way.
Yeah.
So, and then if any of them don't work, if you just slightly modify it a bit to work for you, that's okay as well.
Yeah.
It's whatever works, because at the end of the day, if you're moving, it's still better than sitting down.
Yeah, completely.
Any sort of exercise is better than no exercise.
Yeah, completely. And I think with the circuit and for the coaches, we do allow them quite a bit of freedom with it, because that way, and we've got spare equipment for it too. If you've got an injury where you need to swap out, we'll do it. And if there's an exercise which doesn't agree with your body for whatever reason, swap it out. You don't need to do it. I know burpees are probably one of the big ones out there industry-wise where
even if you change the name of the lane.
Yeah. But they'll often get put in there. And I mean, if someone's got knee complaints, hip complaints, back, or if they're carrying a lot of extra weight, it's not always going to be something where it'll get the person, obviously, towards their goal.
The other one too is I have seen, not experienced.
Yeah.
If someone were to rip their pants or something.
Yeah.
Whilst doing squats, Kelly's pretty good at showing you a different exercise.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. But...
Yeah. That was good. What would you say to someone, I guess, who's looking to get started at, let's say, 160 kilos or 200 kilos, or if you were to talk to yourself way back when you were at that heavy point, and you were guaranteed that that earlier version of yourself was listening, what would you say to them?
Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. Wake up. As soon as life starts getting a little bit harder, obviously it's never too late to get in there and do it, but I look back at it now and things were getting harder for a long time.
Yeah.
And I waited until
Oh, sure. Yeah, so you're a very popular man. Yeah,
Sorry.
go for it.
I waited until, well, not waited. I got confronted with it at the hospital, and I left it way too late. And it's not until now, I think, that I've been sticking to it as long as I have, and built up some more muscle and everything as well.
Yeah.
That it's a lot easier. And I'd say to myself or anyone, the gym sucks, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, when you're that age, when you're that way, it sucks.
Yeah.
The thought of going to the gym sucks. And I never thought I'd be someone that would be having probably a bad day at work and go, it's right, man. 5 o'clock this afternoon, you be at the gym, man, you smash it out. And every time I leave the gym, I leave with a smile.
Yeah.
And that would be something that I never thought I would do. That would be something that I would be saying to someone that if you stick at it long enough, you do actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That is, I have a good time with the exercises and then with the people here as well. It's just, and I never thought I'd be that person.
You and Zach yesterday, that was like such a good boxing session. Like, it was absolutely incredible to watch. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even though there were no legs involved, mate.
Yeah.
I went and picked my daughter up from netball and there's bleachers that you walk up.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was hard to get
Yeah.
up those afterwards. Eh?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, transformation-wise for you, Martin, from where you started to where it is now, just absolute leaps and bounds. And I think one of the things that sometimes gets forgotten maybe a little bit, there's a lot of people out there currently 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, over 200. Like, it's, as Martin said, like, perfect world, we would have started at like 120 or something. Life would have been very, very easy. Would have been nice and quick. Yeah, it would have been very easy. But it doesn't always happen. So I think one of the biggest things to remember is, like, when that motivation peak arrives for you, like it did for yourself, that hard chat with the health professionals, make full use of it. Like, completely. Like, when we run the ads, like, we never know when someone's motivation peak's going to be, other than that they respond to the ad.
Yeah.
And I've had some people where they've only been maybe 20, 30 kilos overweight.
Yeah.
They're miserable. Had coffee dates with them across a year, but kind of chatted about it, but I could never bring it up in conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's when they want it. It's,
You can lead a you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. So that's 100%.
And the other interesting dynamic is, annoyingly, because of the relationship in there, friends and family aren't always able to help as much as what they'd like to.
I mean, honestly, my wife's been massive.
Yeah.
She's we got 3 kids. STM's over on Avalon Drive. We live all the way on the other side of Hamilton, then out to Morrinsville.
Yeah.
So it's a big trek. I get home late, and she's dealing with 3 kids on her own.
Yeah.
And I mean, if she wasn't supportive like she is, and to look after the kids and step up and help me out, I wouldn't be sitting here. I don't even know if I'd be sitting here today. I don't know if I'd.
Wow.
I don't. The conversations that I had at the hospital, I don't know how bad it would have got. So no, it's without the support of my wife, I definitely wouldn't have. None of it would have been possible.
Yeah, look, massive shout out to families and friends where they are there being supportive, because behind like every Martin, there's a whole bunch of like really good cheerleaders, which make that side all feasible. And it's just doing those little things on a regular basis, and I guess not putting any probably time pressure on it. Probably one of the big ones too.
Yep, 100%.
Because this must be amazing for your kids to see as well.
Oh, well, I mean, I've always coached my son. He was 5 with rugby, and I used to be a Waikato referee. I used to play provincial rugby and whatnot, and to be where I was, and I'd ref their games, and I would just sort of walk around on the field because it was a bit too hard to run. And I refed them a couple of weekends ago, and I've got to say, I did pretty well to start one of those 10, 11-year-olds that quick.
They're pretty zippy, yeah.
I think even a triathlete would struggle with some of those. And they were fast.
Yeah.
So no, it was really good. It was really good. I noticed a massive difference there. So even my son said so to me at the end of the game, so which was a little humbling but quite cool at the same time. So yeah. And
so those who are watching can get a little bit of a feel, I guess, for how your week's different now compared to 160 Martin minus that 27.5. How does your week normally look exercise-wise? Eating and drinking-wise, what were some of the changes that you made on your end?
So exercise-wise now, I'm I'd say 9.5 times out of 10 is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yep. I'm here for at least a single one. Every now and then I do the doubles, but that gets hard. And Thursday nights I'm running around with my son and his rugby team. I'm their coach, so they're pretty physical kids. And the weekend we've now gone and bought bikes as a family. Nice, the other day I even went and bought a scooter because I was riding one of the kids' scooters, and I was like, wow, I can actually do this now. I have balance again, and I can go scootering with my kids, which seems like a really small thing, but I love my kids and I love doing things with them. So we just try and be as active as we can on the weekends as well. Obviously the rain hampers that a little bit, you know, more than 10 drops on a cigarette paper, and you don't want to be out there. But no, it's quality of life and quantity of life. The quantity of life is probably the big one, where you're actually living and you're getting out and about, and my wife says I'm not grumpy. She uses better words than that, but I think that's definitely one of the common ones we've found with the video catch-ups is, and this is for anyone who's dropped like 20 kilos or more, it's just actually having your weekend back a bit. And if the kids say, hey look Dad, do you want to come and do XYZ, you're actually able to go, sure, let's go. Whereas before, well, before, Sue's, because we got a dog as well, Sue's my wife, would be like, oh, the kids are not going for a walk with the dogs, you want to come? And I'm like, nah, I'm alright, you guys have fun. And I wouldn't go. And now, it's like, I'll come. Sweet, Charlie, go to your bike. We'll jump on the scooter, or we'll jump on the bike, and, you know, like we've gone up through Karangahape on the bikes, and, you know, and had, at the time, had a 4-year-old on there as well. I'll tell you what, that tunnel is actually uphill when you go in there. It's a lot harder than it looks with a kid on there. But yeah, she was telling me to go faster, and I was trying. It was great.
Okay, so body-wise, obviously, a whole heap of body fat comes off, muscle tone goes on, a whole heap of fitness improves, or energy levels improve. As far as state of mind goes, or kind of how you feel about yourself, how you feel about life, what shifts do you notice in that regard from being the 160 kilo version of yourself to being about 30 kilos lighter?
Just a happier person, and just life is just so much easier. And I mean, I have a very stressful job. I'm a sales rep in the film industry at the moment. and he saw what I was dealing with when I walked in.
Yeah.
So
It's,
yeah,
it's almost always glued there.
yeah. If there's anything to do with cell phones and brain cancer, yeah, I'll end up with
Yeah.
it later on. It's just a better state of mind, and I'm just enjoying everything a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I say, enjoying coming to the gym, which I really thought I'd never be that person.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And what do all the health practitioners think of kind of everything so far?
Claire, my drug trial nurse,
Yeah.
is just absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
She just, And my specialist, to be honest, I don't see him that much anymore because
Yeah.
everything seems to be, the ship's righted.
Well, that's good.
So the last, to put it this way, I was probably seeing him every month.
Yeah.
Having to go up and see him with health, with my Crohn stuff, and obviously everything else that went wrong with it. In the last year and a half, I think I've seen him 3 times.
Yeah.
So, that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, that's
So,
really good.
I'm assuming he's impressed, but
Yeah.
I just don't see him that often
Yeah.
anymore. So to me, that probably speaks volumes in its own.
Yeah.
So
I think, and then one of the other things which I've chatted with a few people about recently is, like, we had a lady who went to the doctors and she was over 150, and she said to the doctor, "Hey, look, I really want help with this. I'm massively concerned. Like, all of her fat was around the midsection. Not a tall person, so I think weight-wise she probably had to drop maybe about 70 kilos.
yeah,
But she said the catch-up was really hard because it was only maybe 15-20 minutes, and all the doctor ended up saying to her was kind of, "Hey, look, go away, eat healthy, and go do some regular exercise."
Yep.
Yeah,
had that before.
yeah.
I've been up to the hospital, asked to see a dietitian up there, someone that is paid to basically help you out with meal
Yeah.
plans and better things to eat. And went in there and said, he's like, "What are you looking at doing?" "Oh, I just want to lose weight, eat healthier." "Oh, so you've got Crohn's disease?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, well, what can you eat?" I said, "Oh, it varies, which is making it really hard.
Yeah.
I need some help." And she goes, "Oh, yeah. I will just eat healthier."
Wow.
It was honestly a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And I was walking out thinking to myself, at least I don't have to pay for parking.
Yeah.
It was that quick. I didn't have to pay for parking. It was that ridiculous for someone that the medical profession just doesn't place enough emphasis on the helping before it gets to a problem. You know?
Yeah, I think, and like, we definitely see this in New Zealand, it's got to a scary point where there's so many overweight, really unhealthy people
Yeah.
that probably that initial diagnostic or help ends up being really, really rushed, which is a shame because it means that that person never really gets the help or assistance that they deserve or need. And I mean, for a lot of people, if the eating side of things is tidy, and look, there's going to be some education around that, you want to see what they're doing currently, obviously swap outs if and where needed. And then exercise wise, it has to make sense as well. Like, one of the I guess scary things we see on this end is anyone 40 kilos overweight or more just goes, "Oh, look, I want to drop some weight, I'm just going to go running." And running's really hard on the body, even if you're not carrying additional weight. Like, it's that single leg strike is a force actually more than your body weight each and every time.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine someone carrying an extra 50 kilos, which you can do with an extra large vest,
Yep.
that's really hard. Like, the chance of you injuring yourself or being really sore is ridiculously high. And chatting with Phil about it, like, sometimes all you'll need to get the first bit of weight off might be something like doing regular walking or going into a circuit where you've got a coach.
Yep.
and then potentially not drinking 6 litres of Coke a week anymore, and chopping that down, so all of a sudden it's a smaller amount.
I wish it was only 6 litres. Mate.
Yeah.
Like, I was drinking like 1.5 litres a day.
Yeah.
Which is so bad for you.
Yeah.
But it was just what I was doing. It was
Yeah.
what I did when I was building.
Yeah.
And my body, well, it probably wasn't good.
Yeah,
But I was active enough to burn it off.
Yeah.
Burn it off. You know? It's just as much. Anyway, exercise 100% is a massive driver.
Yeah.
Putting heavy fuel machine is definitely putting proper food in there, not deep fried all the time,
Yeah.
or being a wreck, it's like, oh, there's a baker, I'll grab a pie, because it's quick and simple. I can do it on the way past.
Health's got so many interconnected elements, and I think, like, look, technically, all of the information is on the internet, but the problem is there's such a sea of information. Unless you really know what you're looking for, like, you could waste weeks, months, or years trying to find the right stuff and doing that whole trial and everything. I think if ever anyone's got a motivation gap or an information gap, it makes sense to get some assistance for it. And the example I always use, if my car's not going, I'm not going to jump on YouTube and look up 100 different videos, get in there with a screwdriver and try to make it work. And it'd be naive to think, it'd be naive to think a human body's a lot more basic than obviously what a car is. So I think remove ego from it completely and go, hey, look, I'm at an unhealthy spot at the moment, and this is something I might need some initial help with.
It's like, the other thing too is you wouldn't take your car to a builder fix, would you?
No, exactly. Yeah.
You go to someone that knows what they're talking about. People deal with me at work because I'd like to think I know what I'm doing and I'm helpful.
Yeah.
So if you want to lose weight and whatnot, you go to someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Exactly. No, it's I think well put, man. It's a case of if you go to someone who knows the right stuff, who's helped people do it previously, then like there's 101 little things, like we won't have time to chat through it, but all of those things are put in place, and it can be accountability. We use MyZone just as a nice easy form of exercise tracking, so that way there's no blind spots on that. You'll need some form of photos or measures in place to obviously check that things are kind of heading in the right direction. A lot of it probably sounds like common sense, but I guess it's only common sense
when you know it.
When you know it, yeah.
Common sense isn't that common.
No,
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Whoops.
One thing I'm going to mention real quick now, because look, you've dropped the weight and you've kept it off, which is absolutely fantastic, and we're going to make sure it doesn't yo-yo back up, so you never get back up to 160.
Thank you.
How important is it, do you think, to be able to say, from a mindset point of view, look, for me to get this weight off and for me to be able to keep it off long term, it's probably going to look like I'm going to have exercise in part of my week, and I'm going to probably have to be eating reasonably healthy as well.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't go and lose this weight, which I lost a little bit of weight before and then put it back on. It's you always find it again.
Yeah.
Don't want to find it again.
No.
Started throwing clothes out that don't fit anymore because I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
No, 100%. It's a lot. It's not a quick fix. It's a lifestyle. You have to change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And your lifestyle, my lifestyle now includes regular exercise. That includes eating healthily. That includes having a good time with my family.
Yeah.
And
you'll still have treat food, and you'll still celebrate stuff as well. So I think you found that really nice balance where it's not massively throwing out your week, It's just there's enough good, healthy habits in there that you're doing more than okay.
I think the one too is as you're starting to change your eating habits, you'll have a bad day, but you'll gorge real hard in the morning, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then you'll almost starve yourself for the rest of the day. And then the next day comes around and you start thinking about what you did in the afternoon yesterday, and you're like, oh, I didn't actually eat that much, so then you'll go and do it again. And in your head, because you've left yourself starved for the rest of the day,
Yeah.
that you're always tricking your mind that you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not actually doing anything. So it's definitely a case of eating in moderation and just not having as much on your plate.
Because how do you stop the train going off the track massively? So obviously there's been people before where they've been 160, they've dropped 30 kilos, they've got down to 130, but then all of a sudden they've gone back up to 160 or past 160. How do you stop that on your end?
Right now, I have a massive goal in front of me. I have 3 hernias I need to have operated on. It's a very, very extensive operation. It's going to be like a 10-hour procedure. The more weight I can lose, because it's such big hernias, the more likely it is that it's going to be, effective.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm trying to build as much muscle in my abdomen as much as I can with the hernia there. I'm trying to lose weight, and just when they open me up, to just be as healthy as I can, to give myself the best option of living a full life.
Yeah.
To have no complications, because last time I got opened up, I had
you said
11 months in and out of hospital and couldn't return to building. So
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
So I'm doing everything within my power to do that. Once that goal's moved, it'll be I'll probably go and do bridge to bridge.
Nice.
Do things like that.
Yeah.
And give myself a goal. I'm the kind of person that probably needs a goal in front of me to motivate me. But I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Now more aware of it.
Yeah.
And hey, if that's what I've got to do to keep my head in it, then that's what I'll do. And it's far worse things in life than doing the bridge to bridge.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's the old mahi never stops as such. I think constantly having those targets is a nice, easy way of making sure that things don't go backwards, because it definitely reduces down that risk. And then the other thing, and everyone feel free to make use of it, is if you've lost a decent amount of weight, and let's say you've got to your goal body shape, feel, weight, everything's in those healthy zones, it's a good idea to make a quick note of eating wise what worked for you, exercise wise what worked for you, and please set yourself an emergency weight. Jump on the scale semi-regularly, so if ever you go over that emergency weight, all of a sudden you go, hey look, I've got to do something now, rather than I've got to drop 60 kilos.
Yeah.
So let's say someone goes from 160 down to 90, stay at 90 for as long as you can, your body likes stability, but then furthermore, look, set yourself an emergency weight wherever you're happy at, so maybe 100 kilos, and what that means is you should never, all going well, get back up to that 160, because as soon as you jump on a scale, and you might have to jump on it every month, every couple of months, you get that 100 mark and you're like, look, it's go time, because that's been pre-framed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ideally I want to sit somewhere between the 100 and 110.
Yeah.
I'm a tall guy.
Yeah.
I'm over 6 foot. 6'3", 6'4"
Yeah.
or something.
So yeah,
I'm never gonna.
We got the camera angle good. We're looking the same height. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Martin's actually a little bit taller than me.
Did you cut the?
No, we're good.
Oh, yeah. Well, we wouldn't be straight anyway, would they? No, yeah.
Oh, cool. We're getting some good comments. Keep going. I'll just do some scrolling. We'll just see what's in there.
Oh, look at that. These comments. I don't know what to say now.
Thanks, Adu, and thanks, Matt. Yeah, no, he's done incredibly well. Super proud.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's always cool to get compliments like that from your peers and guys you're working out with and whatnot.
But you said you were getting other compliments recently as well.
Yeah, it's always hard to take a compliment though, eh? Like, we Kiwis, man, we can dish a compliment out, but it's I don't know, almost makes you feel uncomfortable when someone gives you one. I don't know why, but...
Okay, the way we found, because I'll just interject here real quick, the way we found is, like, sometimes, like, when the weight's massively overweight and it's been that way for a while, like, self-esteem, self-confidence drops down a little bit. So you kind of...
I've got self-confidence, mate. I'm not...
No, you're better than most in that regard, but it's one where, like, you doing as well as what you've done, it can still have that bit of a new feel to it. So with compliments, they kind of end up having a bit of a new feel to them as well.
Yeah.
We found, like Anu and Matt and Julie, all thanks for the comments, guys, and Julie. So they've all done really, really well as well. And I think one of the things which makes it easier to receive compliments is to be able to give them as well.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
Because that way you get used to it as a good communication. And I mean, in gyms it should be happening all the time. Particularly if people are getting goals.
100%.
Yeah.
At his team, it does.
Yeah.
Everyone's always complimenting each other. It's a great environment. That's why I've been coming here for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've always paid someone. I've always been paying for their rent or whatever you want to call it.
The old gym sponsorship.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. With some places, it's like 99% of people aren't turning up, which is pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love it as coaches too, because probably for every compliment you receive, I probably get 4 or 5 of them where the people haven't quite come to you and they're just like, oh Martin, he's done so well. I'm just like, yeah, no, he's done fantastic. Have you said kind of anything to him? And they're like, oh, no, not yet. I'm just like, hey, go say something to him.
Yeah. It's the Kiwi way almost. Eh?
Yeah.
It's I don't know what it is. It's as Kiwis, we're pretty shocking it today.
Yes, anyone watching, that's another very quick, I guess, key point from it is if anyone does really well health and fitness wise, look, just give them a massive congrats. Like, all going well, a whole bunch of other people have given them congrats, but it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes people have done really, really, really well and no one said boo. So it's a lot better to get those compliments in there a lot sooner and earlier. And I mean, for us as coaches and trainers, we love that side of it. But another dynamic to remember is, like, if someone's a friend or even an acquaintance, like, your compliment is going to have huge value for that person.
Yeah.
And you're actually being a cheerleader or the support crew and you're helping them get to their goal. Now, given, like, look, Martin's done pretty much most of the hard work and all the hard work, but you're actually still giving him that little kind of push in the right direction with things, which is huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I suppose you were talking about goals before. One of my goals is, I mean, there's a lot of people that have come and gone before me, and there's the Hall of Fame on the wall, so to speak.
Yeah.
I want to be the first person you put up there that's got minus 50 kgs on it.
Yeah.
Like that to me, I'm a rep. I've got to
That's
make
good. Yeah.
If I can have a minus 50 kgs on there, like that, and then a side by side photo, I'd love to have that up there.
Oh,
I really would love to have that up there.
I love that. That's perfect. That's perfect use of ego, and it's one where
I'm sure you'd like that too.
Yeah, for sure. No, 100%. Like, as soon as it's there, I'll be calling the photographer. We'll get it sorted. That ties in nicely because once again, you're looking to kind of better yourself with it, which is really good. And I think one of the other things we found a nice balance with here is inter-member competition without it being like to a detrimental point, because once again it always has to bring back, hey look, we want you to get to your goal and we also want a whole bunch of other people to get to their goals as well. Compliments will be part of that, and you all doing really well training wise will be part of that, if it helps you to get to your goal and you're looking up there and you're like, hey, that person's just in front of me, as long as it can be done in a right manner, then that little bit of leapfrogging, I mean, it can be a good thing.
Yeah. Oh no, it's healthy competition.
Yeah.
All competition is good.
Yeah.
Healthy competition.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good. So.
Oh, we've done so well. Wow, that's that's the up top. That's the longest video I've done in a little while. Thanks.
Surprise with you and I.
We've done well. Thanks so much, man. Thanks everyone for watching in. We'll also, this one will be saved somewhere as well. So if you want to watch it later, you're very welcome. To any members who have watched it, if you want to do a video catch up with me, absolutely sing out. One of the things that we always find on this end is there'll be someone who watches this who's 150, 160, 170, 180 kilos.
Yeah.
They've hit their motivation peak. They watch this video and they go, wow, that Martin dude, he was like the same way I am. He's looking good. His week's so much better. I want to be more like him. And that's why, like, when you say that minus 50 kilo poster up there, yeah, someone's going to walk in and see that, and they're going to need to drop 50 kilos. Yeah. And all of a sudden, rather than it being, oh, this is too big, I don't know how to do it, and all the rest, we can put them in the right space so they can start heading in the right direction. And I think, look, for most people, getting that other side of that 4 weeks and probably getting off about the first 10 kilos, that's a pretty crucial point.
And that's where I thought I would be, like, when you and I had those initial chats on the phone, you say, no man, we've got clients that have lost, 30, 40 kgs, and I'm like, that's not going to be me, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just lose 10 kgs and that'll be me, I'll be happy at that.
Yeah.
The more you lose, the easier it gets and the more you enjoy it. So
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much. We'll see you online soon, team.
Cheers, guys.
Have an absolutely fantastic Thursday.